Guys, welcome back. So I wanted to just do a quick video. I've been reading a lot of comments on Facebook about foreigners being treated badly in China. Okay. Now, I'm in my 5th year. I just renewed, or I just did my health check a couple weeks ago. I made a video about that, and that's to renew my visa for my 5th time. Okay. So I'm about a month and a half into my 5th year in China. So even before I met Sandy and I was on my own, a single guy, I never, ever experienced any kind of discrimination about anything. No problems being served in restaurants, in grocery stores, hotels, anything. Now, there are hotels in China that do not allow foreigners, okay? But if you use Agoda or if you use Trip.com on the app, it tells you exactly which hotels you're eligible to stay in. So you just sort by that, and those are all the hotels you can stay in. Don't go to a hotel that doesn't allow foreigners. Now, they do this because those are usually the lower end hotels, and they don't like foreigners to see those hotels because it embarrasses them. That is why. That's at least one of the main reasons that everybody has told me many times why certain hotels don't allow certain foreigners. It is not because they don't like foreigners. It's because they don't want them there. Okay? They don't want them to go back home and go, oh my God, that hotel was shitty or whatever. Okay? Now, since this virus has been happening, China locked down, I believe it was March 28th, they locked the country down so no foreigners can get into China right now. If you're here, that's fine, but you can't come in, even if you have a visa or anything like that. They're doing that to basically make sure there's no recontamination of the virus and brought in from outside. Okay, so every day I see this 2 or 3 times on Facebook. And people say, oh, I'm being discriminated against in my community where I live, or in this restaurant, or in this. And here's the thing. One person posts, but all the comments are other foreigners that live in China. And they're like, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that. And I haven't seen that. Okay. You guys see me riding around with Sandy, and I've done, 120 plus videos on my YouTube channel. I've never once had anybody say, I can't go into a store, I can't go into a restaurant, I can't go into a bar, I can't go to the police station, I can't go to the hospital, any type of thing. Everywhere I've been, I had to go to the police station a couple weeks ago to get a piece of paper that verifies that I live in this apartment. And I had to show that to the hospital when I did my health check. They were so friendly at the police station, just nice. People came in and they were like, oh, an American, yay, all this and that. And they're just happy and shaking my hand and just friendly. Same thing in the hospital. The girl at the hospital, I went in and I signed in. It's 500 RMB, which is about $75, $80 for your health check. It's an annual check. Okay. I gave them the money and I said, oh, my wife is outside. And, and then I went, and if you guys watch the video, I was doing the video. And after that clip where I said, hey, I got to go do all my different checks, my x-ray, my blood, my urine, she came running after me and she goes, whoa, I just wanted to let you know you have to come and redo your paperwork. Since you're married to a Chinese national, your annual health check is free. And they gave me my money back and they said, all you got to do is show that paper from the police that you live here and show your marriage certificate when you pick up your results, and you don't have to pay. They refunded the money and they said, just make sure you do that. She didn't have to do that. She went out of her way, super friendly, okay? And I see this everywhere I go, okay? I'm on the street and little kids want to talk to me and their parents go speak English, and I play a little game or do some trick for them and they're happy. And I think this boils down to attitude. Okay, I've traveled all over the world, dozens and dozens and dozens of countries. I lived in Europe for 3 years. I've lived all over the United States as an Army brat, and it all boils down to your attitude. 99% of the time, if you're courteous and polite, they're going to be courteous and polite. And I'm not saying you're not going to run into trouble, but most of the time, if you're an asshole, they're going to be an asshole. okay? And it's the same thing. I used to teach martial arts, and I used to tell these kids that come in who would always get into trouble, I said, you have to look to get into trouble. You have that attitude where I don't know what it is, it just oozes out of your pores that you want to start some crap. And then people, other people like that find you. It's like shit gets attracted to shit, like a shit magnet, okay? If you're having lots of trouble in China, look in the mirror. It's probably you, okay? I'm not saying always. This is just anywhere in the world. But people who complain all the time are going to complain no matter where they are. It has nothing to do with geography. It has to do with your attitude. So if you've got a shitty attitude, and I've run into lots of expats in China. There was a girl in this city that we helped out with a job, okay? She couldn't hold a job down. She worked for 3 different companies in 6 months, and they were begging for her to leave because every day was drama and drama and drama. You come here to work, first and foremost. Follow the rules, be polite, and 99.9% of the time, you're not going to have a problem. I promise you. I've been here a while. I know how it works, okay? If you walk around with attitude, you're going to find somebody that's going to have attitude as well, and there's going to be a clash, okay? But if you're having constant problems, it's probably you, okay? It's not anybody else. And this goes for anywhere in the world, not just China, okay? There's not some grand scheme to keep you down, okay? Ultimately, nobody really cares about just you, okay? You're just a foreigner in China, and they might go, oh, look, let me take a photo with a foreigner because they don't see a lot of foreigners here. You got to remember, 1.4 billion people, they're all Chinese. How many foreigners in the country? Maybe 500,000. Okay, and the majority of them are going to be in Beijing, Shanghai, along the coast, Shenzhen. The further west you go, I'm in Incheon. I am in north central China. There are very, very few foreigners, probably in this whole city of 2 to 3 million, maybe 800, 1,000, and now because of the virus, even less. I would be willing to bet there are not 200 foreigners in this city now. If there are, they're students at the university. Okay, most of them. There's not many teachers. There's not many foreigners. This is a tier 3 city on paper, but in reality, it's a tier 4. And everybody says, oh, it's different in the smaller cities. Bullshit. Okay, I've been to Wuzhong. I've been to my wife's hometown in Guiyang is even smaller. Everybody, they're curious. They might be overly curious and want to take photos with you, but they're never rude. And they're never aggressive, and they're never mean. I haven't run into anybody that's been of any significance that I could say, oh, that asshole did this to me, and screw that guy, and then I post something on Facebook about it, okay? If you're having countless problems, you're probably the problem. So that's just my little tip for China and basically life, okay? If you don't like it, and if you disagree with me, let me know, okay? But just change your attitude. Have a more positive outlook. I promise you. I promised myself when I got on the airplane to come to China, I was going to change every single thing that I possibly could and do the opposite because I wanted to experience something that I had never had before. And it's opened up a huge world. I've traveled all over China, Mongolia, Hong Kong, Thailand, Istanbul, all over. And I've run into 99.9% of the time, it's been a great experience. And I'll tell you a story. In Mongolia, in Ulaanbaatar, the day I arrived at my hotel, I walked outside maybe 50, 60 feet from the door of my hotel, and 2 guys tried to mug me. Now, I'm a big guy. Okay, I was a fighter. I did martial arts for years and years and years. Anybody who knows me knows that. Okay, but I'm actually a very mellow guy. I don't like confrontation. And these 2 guys stopped me and said, give us money or we're going to beat you. And they had one guy spoke broken English and the other guy spoke broken Chinese. And at that time, I knew God, I still don't know a lot of Chinese. My Chinese sucks. But I knew enough Chinese to understand what they were saying to me. And you know what I did? I could have killed them both. They were little guys, maybe combined 250, 260 pounds. I'm 260, okay? 6'2", 260 pounds, okay? I could have easily knocked them both on their ass, but all I did is I patted them on the shoulder and I said, you know what? And I shook their hands. I said, it's wonderful to meet you. You're not getting any money from me. I'm going to go. Have a nice day. And they were baffled that I wouldn't give them money. And they stood there arguing with each other about what the hell was going on. It's all about the attitude that you put forward. If I had been aggressive, they would have been overly aggressive. You defuse the situation, okay? And if anybody knows what does the word wushu mean, okay, that is the Chinese word for martial arts. It is a combination of two words meaning to stop or prevent violence or force. And that is the key to martial arts, to stop violence, okay? Fighting them was just one way. This was the way to not cause any violence. And if you have that attitude when you go out into the world, I promise things will be better for you. And I am sure that I'm going to catch shit from a lot of expats in China, but you're probably the problem, not the Chinese. It's probably you. And I'm not saying that everything here is always perfect. I've run into lots of little issues, but you got to brush off 100 issues here. You got to brush off 99 because there's not a damn thing you can do about it. Okay? So just go with the flow as best you can and relax about it. All right. I'll see you guys in the next video. Sandy did a cooking video with Bowser, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.